So if 3i Atlas, was planning all along just to deposit some devices near Jupiter, that would be an optimal trajectory.
At exactly 1 a.m. UTC on December 19th, while most of the planet was asleep, an object not of this solar system entered our skies. No announcement, no warning. Just a silent streak of luminous green slicing through Earth's upper atmosphere. It wasn't a meteor. It wasn't debris. It was alive with energy, and it wasn't supposed to be here. They call it 3i Atlas, the third known interstellar object in human history. First detected as a barely visible smudge by the Atlas survey in July 2025, astronomers at first dismissed it as another long-period comet. But within weeks, that smudge became something else entirely, something no telescope had seen before. As it drifted closer to the sun, something changed. Telescopes around the globe captured it shifting, visibly, not just in brightness, but in color. The core began to radiate a glowing emerald hue, too vivid to be natural. This was no illusion. Instruments confirmed an active chemical transformation, the release of diatomic carbon, fluorescing under the solar wind. The effect? It looked like a green beacon screaming across the blackness, but no other interstellar object has ever behaved like this. Not even Oumuamua. Not Borisov. This was new. And scientists weren't ready. No existing model could explain why the color shift occurred when it did, or how. Was it temperature? Radiation? A hidden switch? That's when whispers began to spread. Was this programmed? Then it got worse. A second anomaly appeared. In late November, space observatories detected a reverse-facing tail, a jet of matter blasting toward the sun instead of away. They called it an anti-tail. Most comets trail dust and gas behind them, pushed by the solar wind. This one? It defied those forces. Theories exploded overnight. Some blamed turbulence. Others spoke quietly about unseen propulsion, not gravitational slingshot, not drift, intent. And yet, even that wasn't the twist. Dr. Avi Loeb of Harvard, a controversial but respected astrophysicist, stepped forward. His statement was simple but chilling. We shouldn't rule out artificial origin. In other words, 3i Atlas might be pretending. It may be disguised to behave like a natural comet, but underneath, it could be something else entirely, a probe, a sentinel, a silent messenger from a civilization we've never met, or one we've long forgotten. As panic swirled behind closed doors, NASA quietly redirected both the Hubble and the James Webb Space Telescope toward the object, not to observe, but to intercept data, to analyze emissions, to listen for anything that could resemble a signal. So far, they haven't said what they found. But one question now haunts every observatory from Pasadena to Prague. Did something just wake this object up? Because 3i Atlas didn't behave like this 6 months ago. It was cold, quiet, dormant. Now it glows like a flare. This is no longer a simple flyby. This is a live investigation. And it may be a countdown. Scientists believe the window to study it is closing. By late 2026, the object will slingshot past the outer planets, possibly vanishing from human reach forever. If we don't decode its message now, we may never get another chance. But before it leaves the inner solar system, it's heading for something massive. And that's where Part 2 begins. Continues in Part 2. NASA's silent chase. If this isn't random, then Jupiter isn't just a planet anymore, it's the test site. It's moving faster than anything humans have ever launched into space. At 137,000 miles per hour, the green interstellar object named 3y Atlas is no longer near Earth. But it's not gone. Not even close. It's racing through the solar system, and its next target is terrifying: Jupiter. No one is sleeping easy at NASA, because on March 15, 2026, 3I Atlas is expected to pass just 33 million miles from the gas giant, a close call by cosmic standards. But it's not just the proximity that has scientists pacing. It's what might happen when this thing, this unknown, this glowing alien body enters Jupiter's magnetic field, one of the most powerful and dangerous forces in the solar system. Right now, NASA's Juno probe is watching. Orbiting Jupiter since 2016, Juno was never meant to intercept a visitor from another star system. And yet, it might be the only eye close enough to catch whatever happens next. Every sensor is locked in, every scan uploaded in real time. Because if 3I Atlas does anything unusual, Juno will see it, and that changes everything. And it's already doing strange things. The comet has an anti-tail, a stream of material not flowing away from the sun, but toward it. No one can explain why. Some say it's a trick of geometry, others whisper it's a kind of propulsion, but as it hurtles toward Jupiter, fears rise. Could Jupiter's gravity splinter it apart? Or worse, could it activate something inside it? Because this isn't just a rock, its path is too perfect. It's not spiraling randomly through space. It's moving through the solar system in a pattern, a deliberate arc, swinging from Earth to Jupiter, then Saturn, then Uranus, like it's following a scan route. Astrophysicists have noticed its trajectory mirrors gravity assist maneuvers, the kind used by human spacecraft to slingshot between planets, which means only one thing, someone or something could have aimed it. And if that's true, this march may not be a flyby, it may be a rendezvous, a quiet meeting between the unknown and the giant that guards the outer solar system. Behind closed doors, mission specialists have already begun running simulations. What if the object bends its path mid-flight? What if its tail shifts direction again, against all known physics? What if Juno records a signal, a pulse, or even a change in shape? The window to observe it is small. The moment of closest approach could last minutes, maybe seconds. But if even one reading breaks our models, the story of 3I Atlas changes forever. And this time, there will be no denying it. No more calling it a comet, no more pretending it's natural, because if it changes course, someone gave the order. And that possibility is exactly where this story picks up next, as the shadow of Saturn looms, and a hidden system of signals may already be waiting. It began with a whisper from deep space, a data packet from the James Webb Space Telescope. Inside it, hidden among thousands of routine observations, was a signal so strange, so cold, that it stopped the scientists in their tracks. Webb had been watching 3I Atlas, the green interstellar object that stunned Earth days ago. But now, it revealed something no one expected. An overwhelming surge of carbon monoxide inside the comet's glowing green tail. Not carbon dioxide, not water vapor, carbon monoxide, and lots of it. In space science, that's not just odd, it's terrifying. CO is a marker of extreme cold. The only places in the known universe where these levels exist are dead zones, regions where light never reaches, and stars have long since burned out. What Webb had uncovered wasn't just a chemical fingerprint, it was a birth certificate from a frozen crypt. The readings pointed to a stellar nursery so far from our sun, so brutally cold that it might orbit a star that died billions of years ago. And somehow, this object escaped, or was released. Scientists sat in silence. This wasn't a typical interstellar visitor. Its structure didn't match any comet ever studied. Webb's deeper scans revealed a nucleus nearly 3.5 miles wide, layered with unstable ices and volatile material stacked like a ticking time bomb. If these layers react or collapse under heat or magnetic fields, this thing could shatter violently inside our solar system. But that's not the only thing haunting researchers. For billions of years, 3I Atlas wandered alone, silent, dormant. Then suddenly, it lit up. Why? What changed? What woke it up? No known force explains the activation timing, no impact, no solar flare. Just a quiet, calculated transformation as it moved toward Earth. Some fear it wasn't random at all. Some suspect it was triggered by our star, or by something else entirely. And the timeline is just as unnerving. This isn't a quick pass and go. 3I Atlas is locked into a long, slow arc. It won't exit our solar system until the mid-2030s. That's 9 more years of potential transformations, emissions, anomalies, and no one knows what might cause the next shift. What happens when it passes Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus? Could this be a test run, a surveillance path? Or is it carrying something across systems, something that shouldn't have survived its origin? NASA hasn't confirmed, but Webb's data keeps unraveling. And the deeper we look, the colder and more haunted this object becomes. It's not just a space rock, it's a messenger from a frozen graveyard. And its message? It may have only just begun to unfold. What happens next is already in motion, and what scientists discover next will shake everything. It was supposed to be simple. A frozen relic from another star system. A straight path in. A straight path out. No surprises. That was the expectation. But 3I Atlas refused to follow the script. Days after its December 19th flyby, after scientists believed the most dramatic phase was already over, telescopes across the world began reporting something deeply unsettling. The comet's dust jets were no longer behaving like normal comet jets. They were changing direction. Not slowly, not gradually, but sharply, deliberately, and without any corresponding change in solar pressure. There was no flare from the sun, no spike in radiation, no magnetic storm to blame. Yet the jets twisted anyway. Observers watched in disbelief as material erupted from different regions of the nucleus, one after another, as if the comet were adjusting itself mid-flight. For a body millions of miles away, with no engines and no control system, the behavior made no sense. Then came the second shock. Instead of fading as it moved away from the sun, as every comet in recorded history does, 3I Atlas brightened again. Its coma flared weeks after peak proximity, not a small glow, a measurable reactivation. Instruments registered a fresh surge of dust and gas, as if something dormant had been switched back on. This was not decay. This was response. Inside quiet data rooms, scientists pulled up fresh models and frowned. Something was pushing the comet just slightly, but enough to matter. NASA updated its trajectory projections without fanfare. The public statement was cautious. The internal notes were not. The path had shifted. Not by much, but enough to confirm the worst possibility. Non-gravitational forces were acting on the object. That phrase carries weight in astrophysics. It means forces that should not exist unless something unusual is happening. Irregular outgassing, asymmetric mass loss, or something else entirely, something directional. That's when the whispers started. What if the anti-tail, the jet pointing toward the sun, wasn't a natural effect at all? What if it wasn't random gas-fighting solar radiation? What if it was a vector, a line of intent rather than accident? The idea spread quietly through research circles, unspoken in press briefings.